everybody, it's your old pal Larry back, and it's Glorious Friday. You know what that means? It's weekly horror movie finds. That's where old Larry goes out into the wilds at flea markets and thrift stores and the dirty flea, the infamous dirty flea, and looks for horror shit. And then I show you all everything that I found on Friday, right here and right now. That's what we're doing. It's been a couple weeks and shit's backed up. Man, I hit some 2 flea markets and a little dirty flea action and a couple thrift stores, most of it local. Went to one gigantic flea market. Went to one gigantic flea market, not last weekend, but the weekend before, and fucking cleaned up, man. It's finally a little cool here in Florida, so it was awesome. And let me show you all the shit that I got from there. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with some fucking DVDs, I guess. So I should probably switch on this other camera, because green screen's gay. I got a nice copy of Campfire Stories. I think this is a little out of print, a little hard to find. I'm maybe confusing this with another one. Probably am. But, literally, I think the DVDs everywhere at this flea market were like $1. So that was, that's just an IQ test. I don't think I have that. My mom found me this one. I almost walked away without looking at it. Mystery and Horror Tales Volume 1, some Japanese. I think these are like shot on video, maybe for TV. Back in the J-horror boom. They're saying that it's got the director of Ring and Dark Water and Ju-on, The Grudge. They all contributed to this. I probably should put it in frame there. I was super excited about. Quick story. Hey, Kieran, what's up, buddy? Quick story. I saw this. Actually, let's go back a little further. I bought this movie on eBay one time. I love it. I love this movie. I bought it on eBay, on DVD. I got it, and they said, alternate artwork. It looked like it was from another country. Probably a different region, and I have multi-region players, so it didn't matter to me. So I finally get it, and it looked funny. It looked a little weird. Hey, Steve, what's up, buddy? It looked weird when I got it. I took the artwork out. It was clearly printed on an inkjet printer on just crappy fucking office paper. And I contacted the seller, and I was like, this is fucking counterfeit. This isn't a fucking legit fucking artwork. The disc was right, but the artwork was wrong. And they're like, oh, well, we said it was alternate artwork. Well, alternate artwork doesn't mean you fucking skeevy little fucker. It doesn't mean that you printed at home. It means that it's different than the UK or the United States release. Maybe it's from the UK or Australia or something. So I got my money back and never ordered it again. I have it on my wish list or my watch list on eBay. Let me just fucking show it to you. It's the movie Devoured. It's fucking super good. Slow burn, great twist. I think it's Spanish, I want to say, from Spain. But man, really great fucking movie. Awesome fucking ending. And so I went up to this dude and I was like, oh man, he saw me from his car. He was sitting in his car. He saw me pick it up, all excited. I'm squealing like a fucking girl to mom. I can't believe I'm finding this at a fucking flea market. I've been trying to get this movie forever. And he came over and he was like, yeah, I was watching you. I see you're excited about that. And I was like, how much is this? And he said, $4. And I was like, dude, are you serious? Everybody else is charging $1 for DVDs. And he explains that it's his daughter's film collection. She's going into the Navy. He's just set up there to fucking, I mean, you know, probably fucking jerking old Larry off to get top dollar. And I walked away. Long story short, I walked away. I was like, nah, I'm not paying $4 for that. Like, you can get that on eBay for $4. And I told him that, and I was like, nah, never mind. So I walked away hoping that he would be like, well, you know, I'll give it to you for $2. And I would have said, sold, motherfucker. But he didn't. He let me walk. And I was shocked. So, of course, I'm walking around that same flea market all day. It fucking, like, gnawing at me doing the fucking eBay math in my head. You actually can't get it with shipping for fucking $4. So I went back, I caved, I went back and got it. That's the most I've spent on a DVD in fucking years, probably. I got some VHSs, too, from the same fucking flea market. I got a little full moon movie that I have never heard of or seen. You know, full moon, you get what you fucking, you know what you're going into. But Jigsaw, anybody heard of this fucking movie? It's a weird one. It's in good fucking shape. You know, like, I grab stuff that you just don't see. You know, if you do this all the time, you see the same old shit fucking day in and day out. It's always the same fucking crap. So, like, if you see something different, snag that bitch. I probably have this, depending on how many of these they released. I love fucking Kolchak, the Night Stalker. This is 2 of the television broadcasts. It's got Jack the Ripper, or it's got the Ripper and another one on here that's the Vampire. The Ripper and the Vampire, as you can probably read before I do, because I'm fucking tarded. And I definitely have one like this. I don't know if it's those 2 episodes, but I grabbed it because it's fucking Kolchak. This is fucking kind of sexy, man. I mean, other than it just being an ex-blockbuster release, like previewed with the fucking, you know, like the little the little slip case that they did. But this is an old fucking VCI release. It's got the old fucking logo. On further inspection, Invasion of the Girl Snatchers is a pretty rare fucking movie. Especially if you have the original fucking case and shit. I've never seen it or heard of it. So, you know, it's cool. I think I got all 3 of those for like 50 cents each, something like that. Then I went by a fucking video game dealer. And, last Christmas, my little buddy Dimitri got me a PSP because it's something that I fucking wanted. I wanted to get and try for fucking ever. And, I never did. Hey, Eric, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you around in a while. So yeah, I got the PSP, and then of course the horror collection starts. All the Silent Hill games, searching for the horror fucking, what do they call them? UMD videos for the PSP. I gotta collect all those. And they're, you know, like, they're not easy to come by in the wild. A lot of times they're really expensive, like at least fucking $5 or up, you know? People are really trying to get money for them. eBay, same, you know, like, you can't really get them cheap with shipping and stuff. And I'm fucking cheap. I want them for like a couple bucks with no shipping. Well, I went to this fucking video game dealer. I'm looking for cool PSP games, like for like Silent Hill games. I'm looking for Ju-On for fucking Wii. I know. I have a Wii. I just wanted to play Ju-On. Now it's fucking out of control. So and then PSP games and movies. Did I already say games? I mean movies. So this guy's got all his fucking, he's got a shitload of stuff for PSP. Movies and games. The games are fucking, like, he's a dealer. Like, they're priced expensive. And the movies were all $5 each. But I see he's got a fucking shitload of fucking horror. Like, stuff I'd never even seen before. So I said, you know, so he came up to me and he was like, hey, just ignore the price on there. You know, if you want some of those, I'll, you know, I'm not going to charge you $5. And I was like, well, what are you going to charge me? And he said $2. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. $2 is right in my fucking butter zone. So I got a huge stack. Yeah, I know, it's a remake. This was before I swore off remakes. And I really do like, what's his name? R. Lee Ermey in this. R.I.P. He was a cool fucking actor and everything he did, but like he was exceptionally fucking funny in this. As the fucking inbred redneck. Species I got. That's a pretty decent sci-fi horror movie. I'm afraid of water and fucking shit that's in it. So this little fucking honey gave me nightmares still. Open water, stuck out in the middle of the fucking ocean. Will fucking sharks eat you? I can't even comment on that. Saw, of course. Love fucking Saw. He had like 5 copies of these. This was the best one. And this was like my holy grail. Fucking House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't even believe they released this for PSP. It's pretty fucking cool. You know, I fucking love House of a Thousand Corpses. It's by far my favorite Rob Zombie movie. I know everybody fucking hates his movies. Just calm down, man. I hate some of them too, but like House of a Thousand Corpses was cool. He's derivative, I know. The 70s thing and the dialogue, it's all old, we get it. But like some people like that fucking vibe that he's got. You know, leave him alone. What are you gonna do? So then, at that same flea market, I don't even know if I can fit this in. Maybe I can show it here. Yeah, that's not bad. $5. This is like 60s, 70s maybe. Really cool. I mean, just the fucking artwork alone. I have like an older one, probably 50s, I'm thinking. It's much larger than this. It's got this fucking artwork on the cover. But this one's complete. It's got the planchette. And it was $5. I was shocked. I thought for sure the dude was going to try to fucking rape me on that. But he didn't. So then last weekend, hit a couple thrift stores. I'll show these quick. This is just a little stack of VHS-C tapes. I got 3 for 50 cents each. I'm going to make little bootlegs someday. I swear I'm going to make little bootlegs and send them out to people for fucking Christmas. Maybe next year. I said that fucking last year, but you know. I've never heard of the first one or the second one of this. It's To Die For 2. A little story on this. This was, I went to a booth and the dude had a shitload of fucking VHS, like a whole rack full of them, plus like bins and shit, just all fucking thrown together. And he was a fucking old timer. He was an old timer. And he said, I said, how much are your VHS? And he said, $2 each. And I was like, for VHS? You're joking, right? And he was like, let me tell you something. I don't care if I sell the first one of those, and I'll tell you why. And he tells me this long story about how this fucking VHS collection came from a friend of his who was like, his family was like famous around there. They were like the first African Americans to be like a fucking elected, I guess, to police commissioner and fucking fire chief in that area. He tells me this whole story, probably still jerking fucking Larry off. And I was like, well, he was like, here's the deal. You buy 10 of them for $20 and I'll throw in this VCR with the remote. So I'm like, that's $10 for a fucking VCR for me? That's expensive. I'm like $5 butter zone on those. Like, that's where I want to fucking be on those. $10 is like, maybe if it's like a super VHS, I've spent $10. But this was like actually a nice JVC. I didn't need another VCR right now. I just don't. And there was no way to test it. He didn't have fucking holes to plug it in. So I was just like, well, what if I just buy a stack, man? Like, can you fucking give me a deal? And he was like, yeah, we'll figure something out. And right then I knew, like, I'm getting some fucking discount. And then, you know, like, I was charming the dude. I'm fucking, like, I'm a charming guy sometimes. I can be when it comes to fucking getting stuff for free. I know it's hard to believe. But, yeah, I started charming him as I was digging through his tapes like a honey badger. Misbegotten. I don't know this movie. It's got Kevin Dillon in it, which was a fucking... every time I can only think of fucking The Blob, you know, the Blob remake. When you think Kevin Dillon with the fucking mullet. Yeah, I loved it. I loved him. I still fucking love Kevin Dillon. This is a little X-rental, School's out, bunch of stuff that I've never seen out, never heard of. You know, I wasn't going to pay $2 a piece for these. This one, again, my mom found. I was about to leave, and she was like, hey, did you see that fucking interglobal psychomania cover? That's how trained I have her. Can you believe that? A fucking woman said that. And I was like, no. And she fucking doesn't give a shit. That's just from me talking. She's like, did you see that Interglobal Psychomania on the shelf? And I was like, fuck no, where's that? So that was after I already paid. And I went back, and I'll tell you the rest of the story in a second. This fucking copy of Food of the Gods Part 2 is way nicer than the one I have. The one I have may have had mold on it, and I fucking cleaned it. So I got that. And a lot of these depended on how good of a deal I was going to get. But like Motel Hell, this is X-rental, but a solid, what is it, MGM release of it. This I had a cut box of, so this is like partially shrink wrapped. It's Michael Caine in The Hand. It's a fucking good movie. But, you know, like, this is a fucking, a pretty big upgrade from the cut box that I have. I'm going to sell that. And then this was the first thing I saw, and I was super excited, man. Look at this fucker. Thorn EMI, HBO Video, Circus of Horrors. I think that's a Hammer horror fucking joint. But it's a super clean fucking copy. I was like, that's the first thing I saw, and I was like, game fucking on, brother. Everybody stand back. Honey, hold my coffee. I'm fucking going in. And I did. Fucking ass and elbows fucking in this shit. And I was, you know, like, I was going to take this for $2 for sure. Like, what am I, fucking stupid? Highly collectible, but like, I thought it would be worth a little bit of money, but nobody fucking cares on eBay. It's really, you can get it pretty cheap. If you want a copy, you know, just fucking go on eBay. And then there was a lady that was selling 45s. And I always go through that shit in case I find something cool. And I did. Fucking, this is fucking Paranoid, Black Sabbath Paranoid, with The Wizard on the fucking B-side. Not, you know, obviously not the original slipcase. Why is that so fucking weird looking? Fucking focus, you bitch. That's better. Well, it was better for a second. So, these were 50 cents each. No, I think they were a quarter of 50 cents. And this one I just grabbed because fuck. It's like, I didn't look him up yet, but it's like some kind of a fucking metal band, I'm guessing. The Scuds. And, I mean, it's worth 50 cents or a quarter just for this fucking artwork. It's in a little plastic protective sleeve here. And, you know, somebody fucking put a lot of effort into this. I didn't want to leave it behind. And I think that's it, everybody. That's all I got. Going out with my buddy Dimitri tomorrow. He's coming up. We're going to fucking, all we're doing other than fucking a little thrift storing is watching Italian horror movies and eating nothing but Italian food. Except for breakfast. Because what's Italian breakfast? I'm not even sure. If somebody can tell me, I'll eat it. But we're doing nothing but Italian horror and Italian food all fucking weekend through to Monday. And we're just going to see how much fucking shit we can watch. Because why not? I mean, what else are you going to do? Go outside? Fuck you. Anyway, that's it, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. And until I see you again, get the fuck out of my house. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.